Hola, my friends. Welcome back to Your Feminine Current. I am your host. My name is Jordan from Yoni Swell, and I am honored to be here in this space with you today. We have various topics to cover and energetics to talk through, and so I'm going to jump right in and get started. And basically, I do encourage you to listen to this, if you're driving or if you are doing something, feel free to listen and do what you're doing. There will be a moment where I ask you to find a quiet space where you are safe to stop and listen because we are going to create a space for setting an intention. And it's not necessarily an intention, but it's a moment of quiet where we are observing what is coming through in order to really work with this energy in our next steps and the new cycle that literally is beginning today. I am recording this on February 20th, 2026, and literally right now in this moment, Saturn and Neptune are in Aries together, perfected, exactly conjunct to the same degree and the same minute. This marks the beginning of a 36-year cycle, and also from a global view at large, the beginning of perhaps the next 30 years, the next 165 years. And so we are literally moving through an evolutionary change for humanity, and it does start with the individual. So I will speak into what this energy means. So right now, wow, what an amazing moment to share together. So allow yourself to absorb the quiet endings. And maybe it's not so quiet for you, but it's a very subtle energy that is dissolving the past. And then there is evolutionary change that is taking place that can feel very volatile and chaotic. However, this is beautifully right on time and an exciting time to be alive and to be literally on the ground at the starting gate, moving towards building a new reality for yourself that is in alignment with your true nature. And so we are going to explore these topics, but I want to start out by speaking into on February 13th. That is when the planet Saturn moved into Aries, and we have experienced this energy before. I believe it was between May, June, July, probably around July of last year. Those middle months in the summer and a little bit into the fall, where Saturn and Neptune were both in Aries. And so we were getting a taste of what these new starts are perhaps going to look like. And we did experience a form of false starts in that sense because they were going to retrograde back into Pisces. And so now Saturn on February 13th officially entered Aries, will never ever again go back into Pisces. And so this is the end of a 30-year cycle. And what you would want to do is look at your natal chart to identify where 0 degrees of Aries is and the house in which these transits are happening is how it's showing up in your life, perhaps through situations. It could be a very quiet internal experience that you're having. It really just depends on the house and what that symbolizes. And when you work with me one-on-one, that's something that we start with in the one-on-one coaching containers and also the group container. Your birth chart is the blueprint. It's your unique fingerprint, and it is the blueprint that we curate and build the coaching container foundation upon. So the planet Saturn is about becoming our own authority. It's about integrity. It's about the long term. It's about discipline. It is about hard lessons. And it is very karmic because Saturn is about time. So some of you may feel like you have been moving through the same lessons for a 30-year cycle, and they've just been repeating and showing up in different form because the idea is that you won't have to return to those lessons, and they are on repeat so that Saturn, which is, the grandfather, the elder, making sure that you are learning and you are applying these lessons. And so Saturn can be a very hard knocks type of energy, but really Saturn wants what's best for you. And Saturn is about becoming your own authority, living your life within integrity, and it is about growing up. Saturn moving into Aries is about maturity. It can be very as simple as that. But again, it's the house of wherever your Aries lives that's going to show you how this energy is affecting you. And Saturn is ruled by Capricorn. And so these are long-term investments in terms of how you are investing your time and your energy, of what kind of reality you are building for the long term and for the future. Then we experienced the Ring of Fire new moon solar eclipse on February 17th. And this energy was, I would describe it as perhaps an electrical shock and momentum, change, transformation, never looking back, confronting the truth, and finding the strength within yourself to trust the transformation happening, trust the change, and also the need to relax and calm your nervous system. So this solar eclipse happened in the sign of Aquarius at 29 degrees, the anaretic degree of Aquarius, and it's also ruled by Uranus, which is in Taurus. And so much of this is about closing out what we have been working through since 2018 when it comes to how we relate to ourselves. What is our relationship with ourselves, our self-value, our self-love, how we value ourselves in the world, and our value systems across the board. And this energy is also about freedom. It's about transformation. It's about the freedom of the people, okay? So a Ring of Fire solar eclipse is called an annular solar eclipse, and it happens when the moon moves between the earth and the sun, but doesn't completely cover the sun. So you can literally see that ring of fire. And to add a bit more of context, a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse, they happen when the moon is within 12 degrees of one of the moon's lunar nodes. So the moon has a south node and it has a north node. And in this case, the Aquarius solar eclipse is working with a north node in Pisces, which in mundane terms, you can view that as your North Star. So there is a lot of healing taking place, a lot of dissolving of the old dynamics, the old systems. Speaking into Saturn conjunct Neptune, that is the collapse of the old world. The old structures, Saturn, are dissolving Neptune. So check in for a moment and how are you feeling? What is your relationship with your nervous system? And what is the relationship with how you're feeling in your body at this time? Because even though this is fast-moving electrical energy, we still need to know how to slow down and to nurture ourselves, our nervous system, and listen to the body's messages coming through. And what is it that we need in this very moment? And so I wanted to share a little bit more about what the Aquarius energy is and what the solar eclipse means for you as an individual and for us globally as a collective. And Aquarius energy rules the nervous system. It is the archetype of electricity and pure energy surging through your body. Aquarius is the archetype of liberation, breaking free from old conditioning. It is your own unique genius, cosmic intelligence, the higher mind, higher awareness. It is your emotional intelligence. Another word for this Aquarius energy and the Aquarius archetype, innovation. It is the healer. It is the disruptor. It is the person who questions the known, the one who liberates for truth. Aquarius is the water bearer, providing knowledge that humanity needs in order to heal and be empowered, so that you can be in alignment with what's in your heart and to live from that space. And when we do that, we are helping each other. Aquarius is community, and it's also having the courage to stand alone as a group of one when it's necessary. And perhaps it's necessary because you need space to realign with your own truth. The new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius is forward movement and electromagnetic shifts. It's the rise of the divine feminine, bringing us back home to connecting to our intuition versus being led by our intellect and the overthinking mind. And take a moment and simply just observe your thoughts and what is coming up for you when it comes to the endings that are taking place in your life and also the new beginnings. This is a powerful threshold of rapid and transformative change. The pace of life is accelerating and more shifts are unfolding at speeds we may not be ready for, but on a soul level, we are. And on a soul level, we chose to be here in this moment together so that we could experience our own healing, empowerment, and transformation, and also contribute to the rise of the light so Mother Earth can heal also, and so that the universe can evolve into unity consciousness. This new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius invites forward movement, heart-led action, and courageous alignment. It is a turning point as collective structures that are out of integrity begin to shift and collapse, as we are seeing in the world right now. We are called to rise from within and consciously choose how we contribute to the energy of this new era, literally forming right now. What we embody in our daily lives ripples outward and becomes part of the collective. So take a moment and pause and go within. Find your calm in the midst of this electrifying Aquarian energy, and what resources do you have to calm your nervous system, stress, and any of the fight, flight, freeze, fawn responses you may be enduring. This energy is the frequency of liberation, transformation, freedom from the known, nervous system healing, community, and humanity. It is the awakening of your unique genius, the part of you that cannot be replicated. This is an exciting and expansive time as we realign with love, authenticity, and our true human spirit. And as I mentioned, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is the ruler of the root chakra. It decentralizes what is no longer in resonance with your truth, and in this case, globally, the truth of humanity. So take a moment, another moment, to pause and notice what in your life feels like it's being decentralized, fragmented, taken apart. The function of this is to support you in breaking free from the known patterns that are no longer working. It's to free you from the conditioning, Saturn. Saturn is now in Aries with Neptune, dissolving the past and stabilizing your future. And so that brings us to February 17th, the day of the Aquarius solar eclipse, was the same day of the beginning of the Lunar New Year in Chinese astrology, and it is the year of the fire horse. The last year that the fire horse took place was 1966. And if you look into history, there were various things happening that reflected this energy. Music was a way for freedom and liberation to take place in order for us to deepen and access our relationship with our hearts and love. It was a time of the civil rights movement where collective groups of people were coming together for liberation and freedom. It was also a time of war, divisive structures, and abuse of power. And it's interesting because there are similar reflections now. But think about that. The year of the fire horse. It is time to move forward, and it is time to reclaim your power, to reclaim your truth, and to really build from this place of your self-worth, your self-love, your values, acknowledging the healing and the inner work that you've been doing, because you know it is time to level up. And you've been doing the hard stuff, the inner work, but ready now are you, yes, for true transformation, for feeling confident and clear, and knowing how to regulate your nervous system in those moments of overwhelm, preventing burnout. Ask yourself, what is it that I am really ready to embody and to feel? Perhaps it's authenticity, a desire to live in alignment with your values. And what does that look like? In a tangible, practical way, it could be slow mornings where you're able to do your own routine before starting your day that is nurturing and loving for yourself. Maybe that's meditating, maybe that's drinking your tea and your coffee in nature, walking your dog. What does a slow morning look like for you? And maybe it's feeling energized throughout the day because your quality of sleep is really working for you and you're able to sleep through the night and wake up feeling fresh and clear. Or perhaps it's being in a moment of overwhelm and stress and some type of trauma response during the middle of your day when you're at work or having a difficult conversation with a friend or a family member. And on the other side of that, you are able to create calm and ease through breathing, through pausing, and taking that moment to help calm your nervous system, because those are the tools that you have created for yourself through seeking transformation. And if you don't know how to do that or what this new reality looks like for you that is in alignment, then that's something we can work on together. So Saturn and Neptune on February 20th, today, are now at 0 degrees of Aries, exactly at the same minute. And Aries is forward action. It's one of the cardinal signs, so it initiates change. And Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars represents our conscious soul desires. So the desires that you have to go out and create something, to take action towards a goal, that is your Mars and Aries energy. So wherever your Mars, your natal Mars, and your Aries is in your natal chart will inform you of how you deal with taking action, having intentions and having a goal and going after them. Aries and Mars represents your divine masculine energy. So it is your ability to go out and take action towards creating whatever came from within your divine feminine. They need each other, the feminine and the masculine. We all have these energies within us. So Aries is the infant. It learns by going out there and doing. So Saturn in Aries represents structuring and building the new reality that is in resonance with our soul, Neptune. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. Neptune is the ocean. Neptune is your higher self. Neptune is the new dream. Neptune can also correlate to disillusionment and deception. And with that, there's clarity, because Saturn will cut through with Neptune in Aries together. So you can imagine that Saturn and Neptune in Pisces together were just swirling around like the ocean water does where there are no boundaries. It was the dissolving of the boundaries, the collapse of the old. Now with Saturn and Neptune in Aries together, it's like the Ace of Swords in Tarot. They are cutting through the illusion, the deception, and whatever else is blocking us from experiencing our own truth and vision and dream for the future. And never in this lifetime have we experienced Saturn and Neptune together in the sign of Aries. And as I mentioned, Saturn is beginning a brand new 30-year cycle, and Neptune is starting a brand new 165-year cycle. And this is a time of full-on soul-led awakenings so that we as individuals can connect to and embody our own light as a way to support others to do the same. And so this is the moment I'm asking you to find a quiet space where you are safe to pause. And take a moment to close your eyes, or if you prefer, a soft gaze, and bring your attention to your sit bones. Allow yourself to ground into the surface beneath you. And if you're walking, simply get really present with your surroundings. Perhaps you're in nature. What is it that you hear? What is it that you see? So regardless of where you are, take a moment to feel into what is coming up for you in your body. What are the feelings? What are the emotions? What visions are coming through for your present moment and your future? How is it that you want to feel throughout your day? What does transformation and embodiment look like? And perhaps you envision your future with a partner, a really special person in your life that you're ready to commit having a life with. And perhaps it's those slow mornings where you're able to align and reset and have that clarity and confidence you need for the rest of your day and how you interact in the world. Perhaps you're starting a new career, a new job, something that is truly aligned with your heart. And what does that look like for you? So together, let's take a deep breath and go ahead and inhale through your nose. Hold it softly at the top. Exhale, release, let it go. The sun has now moved into Pisces, so we are in the season of Pisces. However, Pluto, the planet of metamorphosis, the excavator of digging in and bringing forward to the surface what is not in alignment with your soul's truth, is bringing the underbelly and the undercurrent of what is ready to be released to the surface. And Pluto is in Aquarius for the next 20 years. So this is the dismantling and the destruction of the old top-down structures of power and government. And this is happening throughout all of the infrastructures, from business to government to positions of power. And on an individual level, this is about confronting our trauma. Mother Earth is confronting her trauma. She's healing. She's transforming. She is metamorphosing. And for you as an individual, what are you healing? What are you confronting? Aquarius does correlate to trauma. That's why it correlates to the nervous system. So the more that we can educate ourselves about the nervous system and ways in which we can emotionally regulate and create ease and calm and the release of our stress, we are better off in how we show up for ourselves in the world and for and with each other. So this is definitely a space where you can listen and learn and be a part of this community where we integrate nervous system healing and regulation. And so I want to really encourage you and invite you to keep envisioning what this next dream is, what the next vision is, what is the reality that you are building for the long term, and what is in resonance with your heart and your truth, and what feels natural to you. How is it that you want to feel, and what is it you want to embody every day? If this work resonates with you, I wanted to share with you that I have 2 spots that just opened in my one-on-one coaching container programs. And the first step is for you to book a clarity call, and we spend about 30 minutes speaking into and getting to know what it is that you are needing and wanting for your own embodiment and transformation. And from there, we design and curate a program that is in alignment with your needs. In my work, I do begin this foundational process with your natal chart, which informs us of your soul's mission, your purpose in this lifetime, and also the dynamics that you are moving through in order to embody your highest potential. It is your own unique energy signature, and we start with that. So I invite you to check out those offerings, book your clarity call. It's free. And if anything, I look forward to connecting with you throughout this process. And thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this community. I am honored to share this space with you. And I am celebrating all of this energy with you, these new beginnings, this new reality that is forming, that is supporting us in sustaining, creating and sustaining a life and a reality that is in alignment with our hearts. We are helping each other rise, return to our nature, and it is a beautiful process. I'm sending you oceans of love, and I look forward to connecting with you on the next one. Take care and have a beautiful day.